I know this isn't the type of content you subscribe to me for, but everything feels exhausting lately. Not just emotionally, but structurally. Like the effort it takes just to keep believing the rules matter is getting heavier by the day. It's becoming harder to ignore how differently the law treats people depending on how much money they have. And once you really see that, the whole myth starts to crack. The American dream, work hard, play fair, and you'll be okay, feels less like a promise and more like a product that was sold to us. Every day there's another headline, another disaster, another reminder that something is off. I was born in 2005, prime drafting age, and somehow it already feels like World War III is sitting on the horizon. When I tried to talk about this before, people called me a lunatic, said I was just a kid with an overactive imagination, but I don't think this is imagination anymore. I don't mean to sound like a total doomer, but I've had Civil War on my bingo card since Brian Thompson was murdered. And nothing since has convinced me I was wrong. There's a whole generation out here realizing that the world we promised isn't the world we got, and that if we don't start paying attention, it might be too late to fix. Take Brian Thompson, take Renee Good, take the endless headlines that scream injustice, violence, and abuse of power. These aren't abstract stories. They're snapshots of a system that's failing ordinary people while protecting those at the top. When someone like Renee Good, a mother and writer, can be killed in broad daylight, and people who hold immense wealth and influence bend the rules without consequence, it's impossible not to see the pattern. Every day something else explodes, another rule gets broken, another life is upended, and it makes you wonder, if it can happen to them, what chance do the rest of us really have? That's the reality we're growing up in. Time and time again, I find myself returning to the same question. Have we actually reached the point of no return? Or are we just living through the moment where the cracks are finally too big to ignore? Because once we stop being shocked by stories like this, something fundamental changes both politically and psychologically. When accountability feels optional, when power looks untouchable, when ordinary people start wondering whether the rules even apply anymore. That's not just a policy failure, that's a legitimacy crisis. And history shows that when legitimacy erodes, societies don't collapse all at once. They drift, they harden. They normalize things that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. That's what scares me most. Not that everything ends tomorrow, but that we quietly accept a future that keeps getting narrower and more brittle until one day we realize the exit signs have been gone for a while. I'm angry beyond belief, almost beyond words, and I know for a fact that I'm not the only